In 3 days, Archangel Michael will pull out a family secret you were never meant to know. They did expect you'd see this. Watch now. In 3 days, the skies will tremble with divine whisperings, for a countdown has already begun, etched not in human time, but carved into the sacred calendar of heaven. The phrase "in 3 days" is not symbolic. It is a spiritual alarm, activated by the cord of the Most High. These words, this timing, they are prophetic markers, divine coordinates that align heaven's intervention with earth's unfolding. In 3 days, Archangel Michael, the great warrior of light, will move through the unseen, calling forth what was buried, concealed, and hidden beneath the silence of generations. This moment is not casual. It is consecrated. Even now, the Spirit moves across your heart like a wind stirring ancient leaves, leaves that never fell from memory, but were swept under by those afraid of what they held. A truth, family bound and cloaked in the darkness of time, is preparing to rise, not because man is ready, but because heaven is. And the one who calls it forth is not a sibling, not a parent, not an elder, but Archangel Michael himself. His sword, glowing with divine truth, has pierced through timelines and covenants to speak one message: it's time. This message will not be for all. It is not broadcast for casual curiosity. It is a frequency tuned to those whose spirits stirred when the title reached their eyes. You are here because you felt it. A quickening, a knowing, a whisper in the marrow of your soul that something long sealed in silence is about to echo through your entire lineage. If you are reading this, your name was called in a heavenly chamber. Not everyone heard it. What you did. And now, you must decide whether you will lean in. Stillness is required. Not everything in the next 3 days will make sense. But you are not asked to understand. You are asked to obey. Be spiritually ready. Heaven will not shout over chaos. The Spirit will whisper, and you must be silent enough to hear. This moment requires obedience, not opinion. Reverence, not reaction. Because the family secret you were never meant to know was never about information. It was about transformation. And now, the heavens have moved. Justice has stirred, and Archangel Michael is already behind the veil. Type "I receive the truth" in the comments if your spirit has heard this call. Blessing code 321 is now surrounding you. Archangel Michael speaks now, not with a sword drawn in violence, but with a sword forged of truth, sharpened by divine timing, and sanctioned by the throne of the Most High. This is not a message whispered in darkness, nor a suggestion wrapped in soft language. No, beloved, this is a spiritual summons, a heavenly interruption, a divine knock echoing through the halls of your soul. By the 3rd night from now, your spirit will tremble, not in fear, but in reverence, not in confusion, but in confirmation. The Spirit of the Lord will descend in clarity, and your eyes, yes, your very eyes, will open to a truth you were not raised to perceive. You will see through a veil they swore you would never lift. You will hear conversations in your spirit that echo things never spoken aloud. And it will all make sense, because heaven has decreed that your slumber must end. This moment is not coincidence. This timing is not random. The very breath in your lungs right now is proof that you are aligned with a frequency far greater than your comprehension. You were led here, and in the leading, something in you awakened. Perhaps you didn't understand why tears welled without reason, why the skin on your arms rose when the title passed your gaze, why your stomach dropped with a weight you couldn't explain. That wasn't emotion. That was encounter. That was Michael himself brushing your soul with urgency. Heaven interrupts your routine with revelation because the time has come. And the time is now. This message is divine alignment. Understand this. The ones who kept the secret, the ones who moved in shadows, the ones who carried it as if it were theirs to own, they never thought you'd find out. They counted on your loyalty, your silence, your displacement. They smiled with teeth while hiding swords behind backs. And yet Michael saw. The archives of heaven never close. And now, the call is going forth to the one chosen to unseal what was buried. That one is you. This message will not resonate with all. Some will scroll past. Some will scoff. Some will pretend not to feel what's stirring. But not you. You stayed. You listened. Because something in your spirit said, wait. This is for me. And it is. It absolutely is. Because the betrayal is closer than you think. The eyes that looked away too quickly. The mouth that stuttered when you asked about the past. The sudden change in tone when certain names are mentioned. It all ties to what heaven is about to reveal. Someone you still smile at holds part of it. Someone you still predict helped cover it. And yet, hear this clearly. You are not being told to confront them. You are being called to receive. Receive truth. Receive strength. Receive clarity. Stay, listen, be still. This is not about shame. It's about shifting. It's not about chaos. It's about calling. What was hidden must now serve its divine purpose. You were not supposed to know. But now, you must. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. You remember the strange silences, the unfinished sentences, the way the room would change when you walked in, energy shifting like winds fleeing an unseen storm. These were not accidents. These were signs. Every odd glance, every side conversation that halted at your presence, every laugh that fell flat when you entered the space. It was the atmosphere adjusting to what it could not hide forever. They thought you wouldn't notice. They thought you would remain in your role, the outsider, the one who imagines things, the one who takes everything too personally. But what they failed to understand was that your spirit sees more than your eyes do. You have always been sensitive, not weak. Discerning, not delusional. And now, heaven confirms what you suspected all along. The cracks you sensed are real. The whispers you overheard were not figments. They were fragments of a buried truth beginning to resurface. There's been tension. And not just in the room, but in your chest, in your gut, in your dreams. You felt watched. You felt left out. You've seen patterns repeating, cycles forming like closed loops around the same family names and faces. It isn't random. It's spiritual. And you are being awakened to its root. You doubted yourself. You've questioned your instincts. You've tried to convince yourself that love means turning a blind eye. But deep inside, something cried out. Something whispered, no, there's more. That whisper, that was heaven. That whisper, that was your spirit resisting the illusion. And now listen closely. What they swore to bury is surfacing, and it's personal. This isn't just a secret about lineage. It's about legacy. It's about you. You've carried the weight of exclusion, the ache of unanswered questions, the haunting sense that you were missing a piece of yourself. And you were. Because what was hidden didn't just change your childhood, it challenged your calling. But now, something is shifting. The storm is no longer circling. It's coming down to the ground. And you will stand in the center. Not to be destroyed, but to be defined. Because this isn't about them anymore. It's about who you were born to be. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. This isn't just family drama. This isn't mere dysfunction, nor the fallout of misunderstood relationships. No, beloved, what you are facing is far more ancient. What you are entangled in is spiritual warfare disguised as kinship. You are not merely navigating emotional confusion. You are walking through generational warfare. What feels like rejection was actually resistance. What felt like exclusion was strategic containment. Why? Because your light disturbs what has long ruled in darkness. You carry something sacred. You always have. From the time you were a child, you asked the questions they wouldn't answer. You looked too deep, saw too much, felt things others ignored. You didn't fit, not because you were flawed, but because you were anointed. Your spirit threatened the system that sustained the silence. And now, you are awakening to what has been hidden in plain sight. A spiritual battle not just over your peace, but over your purpose. They made you feel like the problem, but you were actually the prophecy. You are the one the darkness feared would rise. You are the fulfillment of a cry that ascended to heaven generations ago. Your great-grandmother's tears, your grandfather's silence, your mother's unease, all of it, encoded into your spirit, carried down through the bloodline, waiting for the day someone would break what others only survived. You're not paranoid. Let me say it again. You are not paranoid. Your spirit knows more than they say. Your soul has discerned what your ears couldn't hear. Heaven has been training you in silence, training you through the long nights, through the isolation, through the unanswered prayers. You thought you were being ignored. You were actually being equipped. And now, the veil is tearing. The truth is this: bloodlines hold covenants. Some are holy, ordained by God. Others are hidden, crafted in secrecy, tied to trauma, wrapped in agreements never spoken aloud. These covenants dictate patterns, alliances, unspoken rules. And you, beloved, have disrupted the entire design simply by being awake. That's why the attacks increased. That's why your peace was targeted. Because the moment your spirit rose, the foundations of that hidden structure began to crack. You were not born into this family by chance. You were born as a key, a divine key. And now, heaven turns you. The lock is ancient. The door is old. But the moment of unlocking has come. The Spirit is moving through you to do what no one else dared. You will not confront them in the flesh. You will confront the covenant in the Spirit. And when you do, the chains will break. Visualize it, a courtroom in the heavens, where your name is being spoken aloud, not in accusation, but in activation. Archangel Michael stands at your side, sword drawn, pointing not at people, but at powers, principalities, and agreements cloaked in familial love but bound in spiritual control. The war is not against blood. The war is for destiny. You are the interruption to the curse, the storm sent to scatter the shadows, the whisper turned roar, the light no longer willing to dim. You are the line in the sand. Type "I break the bloodline" curse in the comments if this confirms your spirit. Blessing code 777 is igniting your inheritance. In exactly 3 days, the fabric of silence will rip. It may come through a conversation that slips, a confession that stumbles out, or a moment of divine orchestration that no one saw coming. But mark this: in 3 sunsets, heaven will allow something to surface that man tried to bury. This is not poetic. This is prophetic. Someone near you, perhaps the one who swore the silence, will no longer be able to contain the weight of their deception. The lie, once swallowed for years, will begin to choke in their throat, and the Spirit of truth, moving through Michael's command, will expose it, not for vengeance, but for vision, not for drama, but for divine positioning. Dreams will intensify. You may already feel it. Trained you vision, vivid images, emotional surges that feel out of place. These are spiritual signals. Don't ignore them. Pay attention to your inner atmosphere. The Spirit is preparing you for the sound of the truth breaking. The earth may not quake, but your soul will. A frequency will shift. You will hear it not with your ears but with your knowing. You must not react. You must not confront. You must not attempt to manipulate the moment. Heaven is watching. This is sacred ground. You are under surveillance, not by man, but by angelic hosts. Your silence is not weakness. It is your spiritual stance. Let them think you are unaware. Let them underestimate your awareness. The reveal is coming, and when it does, you must be still enough to let it land. 3 sunsets. That's all. 3 rotations of light and darkness, and then the veil begins to lift. In that moment, choose peace. You posture. Choose praise. Because what's being unveiled is not just truth, it's trajectory. Your entire next chapter hinges on how you hold this moment. Let them speak. Let them falter. Let heaven unfold the scroll. You are not called to expose, you are called to witness. And in your stillness, power will pour. Type "I am still and I know" in the comments if you will wait upon the Lord. Lesson Code 1414 is setting the table before you. Withdraw, beloved. Not in fear, but in faith. Not because you are weak, but because you are wise. When the storm brews and the tension rises, heaven's command is clear. Step back. Do not engage with the noise. Do not fight in the flesh what has already been judged in the spirit. Archangel Michael does not need your argument. He needs your alignment. Silence now becomes your weapon. Stillness becomes your shield. Your calm is not avoidance. It is warfare by rest. The loudest ones in the room are not the most powerful. The quietest one, walking in obedience, is the most dangerous to darkness. Heaven defends the quiet. The Spirit surrounds the yielded. The angels war for the one who walks away when others fight for control. You are not retreating. You are rising in restraint. You are choosing sacred detachment over reactive despair. You are stepping out of the old script. Yes, you've been baited before. They push your buttons, knowing how to pull you back into their performance. But now you see the playbook. Now you recognize the manipulation. And now you choose wisdom. Limit your words. Let your yes be yes. Your no be no. Let them wonder what you know. Do not answer their probing. Do not explain your silence. Do not clarify your absence. Heaven has not released you to speak. Heaven has released you to see. Observation is your current assignment. Watch it. Listen. Fast if led. The Spirit will speak, and when He does, you'll hear instruction as clear as thunder and as precise as a sword's edge. You've cried before, begging to be understood. You've bled trying to defend your truth. But now, no more. Your silence is not surrender. It is sanctification. You are being set apart for something holy. Let them misinterpret it. Let them assume your stillness means ignorance. You are not being passive. You are being prepared. Repeat after me. I am guarded. I am guided. I am grounded. Let these words be your anchor. Let them settle your heart. Let them draw the boundary between your peace and their chaos. Because the one who reveals will also protect. Archangel Michael goes before you. His sword clears what you cannot see. His presence shields what you cannot comprehend. He walks through the unseen, pushing back forces you've never named. He whispers your name before the throne and ensures that every weapon formed against you fails before it strikes. You are not alone. You never were. This is not abandonment. This is alignment. Not everyone is called to walk beside you when heaven is speaking directly to you. Your spiritual withdrawal is a sign of maturity. It says, I no longer respond to drama. I respond to destiny. And in these next few days, every step you take in silence will echo in eternity. Every time you withhold what you could have said, a scroll unfolds in your favor. Every moment you choose posture over pride, heaven takes note. This isn't avoidance. It's activation. Type I am covered in silence in the comments if you are yielding to divine protection. Lesson code 4444 is encamping around you now. You were never the problem. You were the pattern breaker, the disruptor of dysfunction. The answer heaven hid inside a family that wasn't ready to confront itself. You were not cast out because you lacked value. You were cast out because your value exposed the void in others. You were not the black sheep. You were the golden thread. And now, you are rising, not with vengeance but with vision. Let that settle into your spirit. You are rising, not to prove them wrong, but to prove God right. Because His hand has been on you since birth. They couldn't see it. They were too blinded by fear, by tradition, by pride. But their blindness never canceled your brilliance. Your light was dimmed on purpose. Because if it had shone at full strength too soon, it would have burned the very ones you were assigned to heal. But now the veil is lifting, and the glow of your purpose is impossible to hide. Your silence wasn't your fault. It was their fear. They feared what your presence stirred. They feared what you discover. They feared that in your rising, you'd expose their shadows. And in a way, you will, but not to humiliate, to heal, to bring light to a lineage that has lived too long in spiritual amnesia. You are the bloodline breaker. Heaven has marked you. The Spirit has refined you. And Michael, the guardian of warriors, walks with you. He sees the fire in your eyes, the fire they tried to snuff out. That fire is holy. That fire is awakening. That fire is yours. You are not who they said you were. You are not the lost one. You are the light bearer, the curse breaker, the bridge builder, the truth teller. You were not exiled. You were exalted, pulled out so you could rise up, separated so you could shine. This is your season of becoming. Your wings are not just sprouting, they are unfurling. You feel it, don't you? That pull in your chest, a trembling in your core. As purpose coming online. That's divine fire being kindled. And soon, sooner than they expect, you will move in the fullness of who you are. No apologies, no disguises, no edits. Eyes glowing with divine fire, hands wrapped in wisdom, feet planted in authority. This is your emergence. This is your exodus from silence. This is your entrance into legacy. You were not the outcast. You are the answer. If this word confirms what's been stirring inside, consider sewing into this message with a super thanks. Even a $10 gift helps us release more prophetic content like this. Your support is deeply appreciated and spiritually impactful. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am the answer" in the comments if this is your breakthrough moment. Blessing code 818 is now declaring your authority. The one who holds the secret is trembling now, though they do not understand why. Heaven has begun to stir their spirit. Their sleep is disturbed. Your conversations falter. Your confidence wanes beneath the weight of a truth long buried and now pulsing like a heartbeat in the spirit realm. They are being pulled, not by guilt alone, but by divine orchestration. The time has come, and they can no longer hold what heaven demands be released. Hear this. The confession will not come as you imagine. It may not be direct. It may not even be intentional. But it will happen. A word will slip. A sentence will begin but not finish. A name will surface that should have stayed hidden. And in that moment, the Spirit of the Lord will confirm it in your heart with such force that you will know. This is it. This is the thing they tried to bury. Prophecy is not just future telling. It is divine timing revealed in real time. And this, dear one, is your prophetic moment. This is your unsealing. What has been kept from you is now being loosed. Not by accident, not by chance, but by Michael's command and heaven's will. Heaven softens tongues, stirs guilt, compels confession. The truth will come forth like a river once held by a dam, now broken. And when it flows, it will not just carry pain. It will carry clarity. It will not just bring memories. It will bring momentum. Because the moment truth rises, so does destiny. You were never meant to build your future on false foundations. That's why heaven waited. That's why the exposure was delayed. Because God refused to allow you to construct legacy on lies. And now, your time has come. You've been watched. Not by those around you, but by the host of heaven. Your tears have filled golden bowls. Your prayers, long whispered in confusion, have risen like incense before the throne. And heaven never forgot. The divine remembered every plea, every question, every ache. And the answer is now arriving, not in pieces but in power. The secret was never just about what happened. It was about who you were. And now, so is the freedom. The unlocking of truth is not merely for closure. It is for calling, for commissioning, for crowning. Because what was stolen must be restored, and what was hidden must now empower. This moment was written before you breathed. It was set into the rhythm of your life, waiting to be unveiled at the appointed hour. That hour's now. And the angel who guards your legacy has declared, no more silence, no more shadows, no more delay. Receive it. Prepare your heart. Bustle your spirit. And when the truth comes, don't crumble. Rise. Type "I receive revelation" in the comments if you're ready for heaven's unsealing. Blessing code 525 is surrounding your voice and vision. Now that truth has cracked the surface, now that light has entered the hidden place, you must act. Not in haste, not in rage, but in alignment. This is your moment to step into destiny. This is your moment to speak, not to them, but to the heavens. Declare life over your lineage. Call forth what we buried. Break what they built. You are not cursed. You are commissioned. You are not rejected. You are refined. And the Spirit of the Lord now says, activate what I placed in you. Do not mourn the secret. Use it. Do not grieve the loss. Leverage it. Because every wound that was hidden in darkness is now turning into a wellspring of wisdom. Every fragment of your past is now a foundation for your future. Speak it now. I break the cycle. Let the heavens hear you. Let the spiritual realm feel the vibration of your voice declaring war on every generational agreement that kept you small. You have the authority, not because man gave it, but because heaven ordained it. You don't need their validation to walk in revelation. Move in obedience. Every step you take from this point forward is sacred. You are walking through doors that no man can shut. You are stepping into territory previously locked by lies. And as you move, heaven moves with you. Every yes you give in the spirit activates angelic assignment. Every time you choose purpose over pity, power is released. Don't delay your yes. The angels are waiting. They have been sent not just to protect, but to perform. They are waiting for your voice, your agreement, your declaration. You've waited for the truth. Now truth is waiting on you. To speak, to act, to rise. You were not meant to stay in survival mode. You were meant to lead. You were not meant to be the one who healed in private while smiling in public. You were meant to rise as a sign, a wonder, a witness to God's ability to bring beauty from betrayal. So speak now. Speak life. Not just over yourself, but over your bloodline. Say it aloud. Ghost it. Write it. Declare it. It ends with me, but it begins again through me. You are not breaking things down. You are building something holy. Heaven has been waiting on this alignment. Angels have positioned themselves for this activation. The Spirit is hovering. Speak. Move. Rise. If this declaration ignited something in your spirit, consider sowing into this moment with a super thanks. A gift of $50 helps us create more prophetic words like this and keeps this divine channel flowing. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I break the cycle in the comments if you feel the shift. Blessing code 3030 is aligning your destiny with heaven's design. Something is shifting right now, not around you but within you, above you, behind the veil. It is the silent exchange of heaven. A moment where prayers and patience collide with prophetic justice. While you rest, while you breathe, while you sit in quiet awe of what has begun to unfold, heaven is rewriting what was written in shadows. A divine transaction is underway. In the stillness of the spirit realm, things are being moved. Names are being spoken. Chains are being broken. Scrolls are being unsealed. Archangel Michael is not standing idly by. He is actively advocating in the courtroom of heaven. He names your name. He presents your case. He reminds heaven of every silent cry, every tear you thought evaporated. And the judge of all creation nods. Because you have been found faithful. Not because you were perfect, but because you remained. You stayed when you could have fled. You forgave when others would have fought. You wept in secret but never cursed the ones who wounded you. And now, the heavens respond. The scroll of remembrance has been opened, and on it is written every hidden hurt, every moment you almost broke, every time you chose to trust the Spirit instead of retaliating in the flesh. Do you feel the pressure in your chest, the stirring in your gut? That's not anxiety. That's spiritual evidence. It's the echo of a courtroom where heaven just ruled in your favor. You're not just being healed, you're being vindicated. What was denied is now being released, spiritually first, then naturally. The unseen always bursts the scene, and the shift you've long prayed for has now been authorized. This was never about information alone. It was about inheritance. And now, what was withheld in secret is being returned with interest. There are resources tied to this revelation. There is rest attached to this uncovering. There is repositioning flowing from this divine release. The The reason the warfare was so intense was because the exchange was eternal. They didn't just try to steal a moment. They tried to halt a mantle. But they failed. Your cries were not wasted. They were weights in heaven's scale. They tipped justice into motion. Your silence unlocked the scroll. And now the angels are moving, silently, swiftly, supernaturally. They are shifting documents, hearts, conversations. They are pressing into the spirits of those involved. And the whisper has already begun. Something is coming. I don't know why, but something is changing. They didn't expect you to know. But the Spirit revealed it ahead of time. They didn't anticipate your discernment. But the anointing taught you. They thought the secret would remain buried. But they underestimated the timing of God. You don't have to confront them. Heaven already has. You don't have to prove your purity. Heaven already recorded it. You don't need to fight for what's yours. Because what's yours is being delivered, not by men, but by messengers. So rest. Rest with expectation. Rest in awareness. Rest like someone who knows heaven has ruled in their favor. Type "heaven has ruled in my favor" in the comments if you feel the verdict has come. Blessing code 747 is now executing spiritual justice on your behalf. The silence they forced will now echo back to them. The very hush they demanded is the sound heaven now uses as a trumpet. The reversal has begun. The Spirit of God declares, I have seen, I have heard, and now I will respond. This is not karma. This is kingdom justice. Divine order rebalancing what was distorted. For every lie that framed you, a revelation will redeem you. For every manipulation that misled others, a truth will expose the illusion. For every exile you endured, a seat of favor will be set in the presence of your former judges. You were not forgotten. You were hidden. You were not discarded. You were preserved. And now, the voice of the Lord thunders. Return what was stolen. Restore what was silenced. Reverse what was cursed. The kingdom of God is not silent in the face of injustice. It moves in silence to bring justice. You will rise, and not in the way they expected. You will not rise with rage but with radiance. You will not ascend through argument, but through anointing. This is not your comeback. This is your crowning. Because your fall was not failure, it was the setup for the shift. The ones who laughed will soon fall silent. Not because you shamed them, but because your glow is undeniable. The ones who plotted will be exposed, not by your hand, but by the Holy Spirit who reveals all hidden things. Your name will be restored. Your story will be rewritten. And the parts they tried to erase will be the very parts heaven uses as testimony. The stone they rejected has become the cornerstone. You were always chosen, always seen, always covered. And now, the time of hiding ends. The season of reversal begins. It won't be loud at first. It will come in waves, in sudden favor, in open doors, in unexpected invitations, in platforms you did apply for, in rooms your name enters before your feet do. Let them talk. Let them watch. Let them wonder. You don't owe explanations. You owe praise. Because the one who vindicates is the one who now elevates. And no man can reverse what God has restored. This is your divine reversal. The last shall be first. The rejected shall be honored. The silent shall sing with victory. Don't avenge. Ascend. Don't argue. Elevate. Your rise is holy. Your name is clean. Your season has come. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if you receive this reversal. Blessing code 626 has now gone before you. The family's secret didn't destroy you. It discovered you. What was hidden to harm has now been harnessed to heal. What they meant to conceal has become the very mirror by which heaven reveals your true reflection. You were never meant to blend in. You were never destined to remain in shadows. You are the one called to rise from within the silence, clothed not in bitterness, but in boldness. Now that the veil is lifted and the truth has surfaced, something ancient within you awakens. A fire once muffled by mystery now burns with clarity. Your steps are sure. Your heart is open. Your name, spoken by heaven, is echoing across realms. You are not a casualty of your bloodline. You are the confirmation of heaven's plan within it. May you be sealed in wisdom, wisdom that speaks even when words fall short. May you be covered in light, light that exposes, purifies, and guides. May you be called by truth, not the truth of man's version, but the truth written in the scroll of your spirit before your mother ever held you. The shame is gone. The confusion is lifted. The burden is broken. What once seemed too heavy is now holy. You are no longer lost in what they hid. You are found in what heaven revealed. This is your rising. This is your renewal. This is your restoration. Let it be known in the earth and in the heavens. You are seen. You are sealed. You are sent. Walk in it. Lie from it. Rise because of it. The family secret is no longer a chain. It is now your charge. The mystery is no longer your weight. It is your message. And your purpose is no longer waiting. It is now walking with you. Now rise. The secret is known. So is your purpose. Type "I am restored" in the comments if this message has sealed something in your soul. Blessing code 888 is releasing a double portion over your future.